Hey everyone, happy Friday, first of all. We're going to go live with Sophia from Skin Pulp. This is our first Meet the Communicator series, and we're just gonna get to know Sophia and everything about Skin Pulp. Just invite her and hopefully she'll join in a second. There she is. Hiya.
Hi Dimple, how are you?
Yes, I'm good. How are you?
Yes, good, thanks. Very excited to be here on your first Communicator Live.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I've always wanted to talk to diverse people in the industry, and we launched the Meet the Tastemakers last couple of weeks, with Cam, and I've always wanted to do a Meet the Communicators series as well, where we bring on people like yourselves, and people who write about wine, people who write about gin or spirits, or all sorts of drinks. So I'm really excited that you're our first, because we had a conversation on your on Skin Pulp a few weeks ago.
Exactly. I'm really happy to return the favour, really, and I'm excited to be a guest, be on the other side of it.
Yeah, I know you do this every week, so it's going to be interesting to be the other side.
Yeah, definitely. Jason's saying hi from Brazil.
Hi Jason, hi Josh. We've got a couple of viewers, but I'm sure a few people will join in. It's Friday. So let's get straight into it.
Okay. Well,
we are on a bit of a time clock, aren't we?
Yes. I'm very excited that you sent me this wine to try. Brilliant. And I'm not even sure how I'm meant to pronounce this. Is it Hurluberlu?
I think it's Hurluberlu, yeah. And it's really interesting wine. But first, I think let's get to know you a little bit, and then we can talk about the wines. But we can be sipping in the meantime.
All right, then let me open it and pour myself a glass then, so I can relax with you.
Great.
It's Friday afternoon.
I know.
Isn't that good?
Absolutely.
Although actually, I had a live this morning with Derek from DJ Wines, and he's got a little winery in Suffolk, and this morning we were trying some of his fruit wines with topped up with soda or with tonic to make them into spritzes. So that was at 10 o'clock in the morning, so that was fun.
Brilliant. Oh yeah, I mean the when we were doing it with Cam, it was at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was tasting gin, and it was quite fun. Only tasting it though, since there was no cocktails involved. So I was going to ask you, tell us a bit about your journey into the wine industry. So, how did you discover it? What were you doing before? Were you always interested in wines?
Okay, yeah. So I guess at uni I did creative writing in English. So I always wanted to be a writer. And I thought I should be a little bit sensible and try and get a stable job alongside the writing. So I trained as a teacher, did a PGCE, and qualified as a school teacher. And then I, instead of teaching, decided to go travelling and give myself some space, and just before I went into the teaching, which I did when I came back, but I found there wasn't enough time to do the writing. So I left teaching and ended up moving to London to do something creative, and worked in TV production for a while behind the scenes. But being in London, I was surrounded by all these amazing bars and restaurants, and I started writing restaurant reviews on the side, which led me to work with restaurants. I ended up setting up a company with a friend, managing social media for bars and restaurants. And I did that for 4 years, but that really propelled me into the world of wine, because I was tasting lots of amazing wines and, food pairings in the restaurants. So I did my WSET 1 and set up my wine blog, Skin Pulp, around that time, because I just wanted to immerse myself in the learning. And then I set up my Instagram account as well, because that kind of supported my blog writing and brought everything to life with the pictures. So yeah, never, you know, set out to be a wine communicator. All of that, just, I don't know, everything snowballed a bit, and I ended up, when I was doing my WSET3, I ended up working in a bar, at an independent wine bar, to kind of learn the other side of it, the serving. I mean, I'd worked in hospitality when I was at uni, and my first job when I was 16 was in the hospitality. So that was very natural for me to start serving wine and learning more about it. And also I started running my own wine tastings and events at that wine bar and some other venues around London. And I think that's where I was really before the pandemic hit. And yes, and then because of lockdown, kind of had to find creative ways to work online, like digitally. And so very fortunately, I just started working with wine brands, and they asked me to work with them to create some digital content and wine reviews. I did virtual tastings as well. So yeah, I kind of, that's where I am now. I do, wine writing is still a massive part of what I do, but also the content creation, a bit of presenting. It's very important to me as well to put women centre stage, and I set up my Wednesday Wine Women Insta Lives, as you know, because you've been a guest on that. Yeah, and started interviewing women every week who are in the wine industry and who are entering the wine industry, because yeah, I think it's really important to elevate other women, and so that other women can see them working in wine and killing it in wine. So yeah, that's it really. That's the kind of long and short of it.
Amazing. You mentioned that you travelled before, and where did you travel?
Oh, I did the typical traveller's trail, you know, Australia, and when did I went to Australia, New Zealand, hang on, Indonesia.
Yeah, oh nice, then, okay, so the Asia belt, Asia and then
Asia,
Australia.
and then Thailand, and then India. I ended up
did you?
in India for 5 weeks. Nice. And actually my mum was born in India. She's Anglo-Indian. Oh. So yeah, so I kind of got to reconnect and visit Kolkata, where she was born.
Okay, so she's Bengali?
Well, no, so she has a history of, like her father was English and his father was English, but then there's a whole mix of the Anglo-Indian heritage really, which is a whole mix, and there's Portuguese Indian in there as well. So she is British, but mixed, if you don't know.
Yeah, mixed heritage. Yeah, I mean that's so interesting, because it gives you, I think, such an insight into different cultures and different foods and different kind of habits as well. Which is really exciting. I think that brings, you know, that extra, I don't know, it just brings another layer into your personality.
Oh, definitely. And my dad's half Italian, so I have that.
Wow, you are like a whole world here.
I'm quite, yeah, I'm a bit of a Mongol really. but I love mixed, you know, mixed cultures, and I love food and obviously wine, and I think that's, yeah, you get that rich tapestry of all of that with different cultures.
Awesome. With so with Skin Pulp, which looks amazing, I love everything you do, and you know that. But where do you sort of see that going? Is it, have you achieved what you wanted to set out to, or it's sort of grown and now you have bigger vision for it? And yeah, just tell us like the future of Skin Pulp, as much as you can tell us.
Yeah, so I really want to move forward with communicating about wine to consumers. It's really important to me that wine is accessible and approachable for people, and you know, I've got loads of friends that drink loads of wine, but they just don't have a grasp of tasting notes, or they feel intimidated by the whole world of it really. And when you're faced with a wall of wine in a supermarket, it can be really overwhelming. So I think my future is in communicating about wine to consumers in a really friendly, accessible way. So I think I'd like to set up a wine course, like an online wine course, and some educational sessions and more tastings, and maybe a couple of books. That would be good.
I was going to ask you, actually, would you be interested in writing a book one day?
Oh yes, 100%. That is like the main goal. Yeah, I would love to do that. So kind of working away in the background on things to do with that.
Yeah, with your writing background, and you're doing your blogs and kind of getting that voice of expressing things in a very, very, again, not dumbing it down, but just simplifying it. And I think that there's a balance there. I think there's a lot of communication around wine, which is just really actually incorrect, because it is so basic, and it actually is not right. And then there's the other side where, we're talking about elevation and terroir and soil and all that geeky stuff. But I think there's like that middle ground, which we have to achieve with, not dumbing it down. Actually, people do want to know, but at the same time, not assuming that they already know what soil impacts on wine and things like that. Right?
It's a really interesting topic, because I think actually there's been, whether it was intentional or not, but quite a lot of gatekeeping when it comes to wine, and maybe making things overly complicated, because it was like traditionally in England anyway, like the drink of the upper classes. Poorer people were drinking wine and drinking beer and cider. So I'm really interested in wine cultures like across different countries as well, because like in Spain, wine was the drink of the working classes and the workers, so they don't have that same understanding that wine is posh. But in this country, there's still that, it's like a hangover that wine is posh, and some people don't drink it because of that. They don't feel welcome in that world. So yeah, I think it's just all about opening it up and making it fun. Like, wine is enjoyable, so yeah, communicating it in a different way, I think.
Yeah, which is why All Things Drinks are absolutely big fans of you, because that's sort of what we want to achieve. And yeah, just working with people like you is going to be super exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. It's so brilliant that I feel like there's a whole cohort, like, there's a whole group of people that really feel the same and really passionately about making wine like this approachable subject. And it's really encouraging to have like colleagues and peers that feel the same way. And yeah, I think we're going to do big things all together. So I think it's a collaborative future in wine, hopefully.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier about your Women in Wine Wednesdays, and I want to talk a bit more about that, if that's okay. And yeah, just I read the article from that Richard Siddle had in the bio as well, about the fact that, how I'm a massive believer in representation and diversity, definitely, but also representation. And I just wanted to know how you decided to start that. Was it something that you decided, I'm going to do a few, or did you always think that it would be a weekly thing? How have you found doing, how many have you done now?
I think 56 now.
56, yeah, I knew it was 50 something. Yeah, I mean, how has that journey, like sort of looking back on 50 weeks, it's almost a year. Looking back, how have you found it? Tell us everything about it.
Yeah, well, I think coming into the wine world a few years ago, it was very clear to me that it was a very male-dominated space. And I don't mean that so much in a negative way. Like, lots of lovely men have helped me along the way and recommended that I go, that I do this or read this. So it's not so much of a negative thing, but it's just that representation is important. And whenever I saw a woman on stage hosting a big tasting or read an article by a woman, it just was, this subtle message to me that, oh, that's possible for me to do as well. And that's just so important. And I think whatever I could do in my own small way, to elevate other women in wine and show women that, yes, you can do this as well. And it's a welcoming place for women. It doesn't have to be intimidating. yeah, whatever I could do, I thought, well, yeah, just start making women more visible. So the idea was that I would just chat to women, you know, just really informally every Wednesday, about wine and about their journey. And yeah, and then I think it just became really important to me, and I wanted to stay committed to it. So I can't really see, I think I've had a couple of Wednesdays off where one time it's my dog's birthday. So,
yeah, I suppose, yeah, because it's Wednesday, it's not, you know, yeah.
Yeah, and then another time, I think I was on holiday. But yeah, it's something that I will be just carrying on with. And it doesn't matter how big the audience is. Like, you know, sometimes it's only like 3 people watching, but then I save it to IGTV yes. and it's there as a resource and people can watch it back. And yeah, it really doesn't matter about the audience size. It's just about doing it and talking and allowing other people to see 2 women just chatting about wine.
Yeah, I mean, I've like I said, when I was on the Wine Wednesday chat, I noticed there were so many women that I did not know about, or businesses that I did not know about, that, you know, because of the fact that you gave them that place to have a conversation, that I actually know. And I frequently do that every now and then when I have time and when I want to go back and look through your IGTV and, you know, and I notice somebody that I have no idea who they are.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's fantastic. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a really great initiative, and I just don't think anybody has done it at the same commitment as you have, and it's the same consistency. And then also that space where it's just completely, it's not an article or a blog, you know, it's just alive and it's a chat, and it's fantastic.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, that's really encouraging, and it makes me feel great. And because every week as well, it's inspiring for me to talk to these women and think, oh, maybe that's possible for me to do, to go down that route. So yeah, and Instagram itself has been such an amazing place to network, and I've made, you know, real friends from this platform, and now we go to vineyards together and further our wine learning together. So yeah, it's so lovely that I've been able to also connect other women through Wednesday Wine Women.
Yeah,
so, yeah, it's really cool.
Fantastic. I was thinking, should we taste some wine now?
Yes,
we're 20 minutes in and I'm just worried that time's getting on.
No, cool.
So yeah, so I sent you this wine because I'm just going to get my laptop up so I can get some info on that. It's an amazing wine. It's basically the Coca-Cola bottle. That's but it is 16th generation winemaker. So it is a serious wine. Yay. It's 100% Cabernet Franc. And yeah, it's, what do you think of it first? Let's have you tasted it?
So let's have a look. I haven't tasted it yet, but I love the intensity of the colour. It's very deep, and I love that they've gone for a clear bottle as well, which you don't see that much because of light striking, obviously. But I mean, it's nice to be able to see the colour of the wine before you're buying it as well, and which I think is, you know, transparency. It is actually transparent, but I mean,
literally transparency.
But yeah, but it helps people that, you know, don't know that much about wine. They'll be able to see the colour straight away.
It's not meant to be aged. It's to be drunk. That's smashable red, as I like to call it.
Smashable red. I love it. 2020. So I love the nose. Lots of berry fruits, dark fruits, a little bit plummy.
Did you chill it down, did you say?
I did, yeah, because it's, even now the fruits smell quite ripe, like there's been a lot of sunshine on them. So I'm really glad that I did. I stuck it in the fridge for about an hour, but then I've had it out of the fridge for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. But yeah, I'm going in. Cheers.
Yes, I'm drinking another wine, which we've just turned it on the website. It's a Brouilly.
Oh, nice, lovely.
It's really lovely. It's one of those amazing wines which has no website and has an Instagram account or Facebook account, but in French and things. So really difficult to get to. But there'd been a couple of people who had done article on the producers, so I managed to get some information for our website. But it's a phenomenal wine as well. This one, it's 65-year-old vines. So extremely concentrated flavors and aromas, and really, it's 2020 again, young. Yeah, it's family, a 6th generation family. So yours is actually 16th. And this is 6th, so real heritage here in France. But you know, learning and working with their vines, all of their own vineyards, no bought fruit.
Wow.
Really minimal intervention, production, and they are just really lovely. And I got a bottle from our supplier in the post to say try this about 2 months ago, I think 2 or 3 months ago. And again, I just thought, oh, this doesn't have anything online. There's not much here. And then I tried it and I was like, we're selling this. It's happening. It's just too amazing to not sell.
Yeah. And I think you can see on the label with that one, it shows its heritage, doesn't it? It's quite a traditional label in a way. But this one, that's funny that this one's 16 generations back and they've gone completely contemporary with it.
Yeah.
Which
that's
is
Sebastian
very cool.
David is the name of the winemaker, Domaine Sebastian David.
Yeah.
In French, they say it differently.
Such a cool design.
And that's 100% biodynamic, organic, aged in amphora. It's serious winemakers, no added sulfur whatsoever, no sulfur at all.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think 2015 they committed to go sulfur free, and it's just an incredible. So they're serious winemakers who are clearly know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think with this
but they bottle it like that because they want it to be fun.
Yeah, it needs. Yeah, exactly. It's fun. It's accessible. It's attractive. I think the taste is fantastic. I think, as you said with yours, the concentration of fruit's amazing. And what I love as well, do you say it's Cabernet Franc, 100%?
100% Cabernet Franc, yeah.
But it's so drinkable. I mean, you said smashable.
Smashable, right.
It's not. I think the amphora helps with, because it's like porous, isn't it? And oxygen is allowed to come in a little bit, but it's softened the tannins and everything. It's not grippy at all. It's just it's powerful. It's concentrated and punchy, but it's so smooth and drinkable and like super fruity.
Yeah, I really thought you would enjoy that one. Which is why I sent it to you. It says it's 30 minutes from Chateau Villandre, which is in Loire Valley. This amazing place that hundreds and hundreds of people go as tourists to see. Obviously,
I'm gonna have to go.
And it's only 30 minutes up the road from there.
Do you know what? I don't know whether...
Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, I don't know whether it's the bottle kind of giving me these messages, but I feel like there's a Coca-Cola tasting note to this a little bit. You know, sometimes you do get that, like some American Pinot Noir, they often say Coca-Cola is a tasting note, but there's something cherry cola about this.
Absolutely cherry, yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I've got, I thought there was cherry, cranberries, licorice, really savory, very sappy. I love the fact that because from my winemaking kind of background, I always look at the color for its so that it's balanced and it's not. So when it leaves like a big hue, it means the color is not actually balanced. Okay. But that one, for the fact that it is very new, it's 2020. It's not purple. It's properly like, you know, it's a completely balanced color.
Yeah. And it's not leaving.
That comes from the amphora and aging it in that kind of semi-oxidative porous environment that allows it to just really slowly kind of micro-oxygenate without losing, you know, putting it in barrel or any kind of other material where it would impart more flavor. So it doesn't impart any flavor, but then balances the color, balances, you know, one way to do it is if you buy like any young wine, and you put a drop on a white platform, like on your kitchen or like a white chopping board. And then you put a drop of this and you wipe it, and one will leave a hue and one won't.
Okay.
And
so this one won't.
It's balanced. It shouldn't do, because the colour is balanced and it hasn't left any hue around in the glass.
And it hasn't got that mega purple, the chemical in there. Oh, that's really interesting. I didn't know about that, if it doesn't leave a stain.
Yeah, so when I'm looking at wines before we've even nosed it or tasted it, that's one thing I always look for, how balanced and how, you know, how sort of chemically balanced is the colour.
Yeah.
and what have they done to achieve that. You know, that gives you always a hint whether it's just stainless steel and inert and then pumped in a bottle.
Because,
or, you know,
I mean, with this, it's just purity of fruit, isn't it? So with amphora, you get that slow oxygenation, but you still, it doesn't impart any oak or any other flavouring, like you said. So it is really just like purity of fruit and very clean. And it's cool. It's really nice. I think lots of people are going to be attracted to this.
Yeah, it's £17 on our website, and we're doing £15 discount for first order. So actually, it'd probably be cheaper than any other competitor out there that has it.
So you said it's organic,
biodynamic, organic, no sulfur added.
Has it been filtered? Because it is clear, but it's surprising sometimes that you see wines that say it hasn't been filtered or fine, but it's still clear. I don't know. Yeah,
so it's the amphora as well. So the way that what a lot of winemakers will probably do, if they're not going to coarse filter it or, you know, fine it later, especially with reds, they'll actually just chill filter it. So they will chill it down slowly and then just get as much of that kind of sedimentation and then move it as much as possible to get as clear as you can. And use like temperature. I mean, sometimes depending, because it's harvested, and then if the winery is cold enough, it does it itself. So it doesn't actually have to be done, you know, in a different way. But when it's in the amphora, it's obviously moving. So that's the whole point of it being the egg, that it's never static. It's actually always moving. Wow. But I'm sure they then rack it. They then put it in a barrel or you know, something, and then rack it further to give it that clarity. But if you chilled it, I have had this before because I've had that wine before, and I left it in the fridge. It was I think it was last year or something I tried it, and I think towards the end of the bottle you did have a bit of sedimentation.
Oh, okay. I will look out for that then.
Yeah, it's the colour is not going to, I think you're not going to be able to see anything right now.
No, I can't see any sediment.
There's definitely no fining, 100% no fining on that one.
Really? So it's vegan as well then?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It doesn't, this is the thing with the French wines, they're not very, they're not very good at saying so. Even though if you're producing the wine like that, very natural, very, very organic, very biodynamically grown, you wouldn't want to really fine it because you would lose so much more later. So you just wouldn't. And
you would lose that character, I think.
Yeah,
nice. They should
affect the colour as well a little bit.
Yeah, really interesting. So what kind of wines have you been discovering recently?
Oh my gosh, it's been manic.
I bet you're tasting all the time.
Yeah, it's been manic. I think we're going to drop about 60 new products in the next month or so. Between wine, spirits, beers, no and low, everything. So we kind of started, someone's asking what's the percentage of alcohol on the wine.
This one is 13.
Should be 13, yeah.
Yeah.
And this one, the Brouilly, is... I'm being blind.
Bye.
14. This is 14. But it's 2020 was a hot year, so there would be higher ABVs on that. Sorry, you asked me. Yeah, so we launched a new prosecco yesterday from Pasqua, and then we dropped this wine today. The Brouilly I'll be posting over the weekend. We still have to do some nice pictures. Yeah, because my husband has a full-time job and he also takes the pictures. So I'm kind of juggling between any free time he has.
Set him to work at the weekend.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, he's had to take we take all the bottle shots in-house. So he has to take all the bottle shots and edit them and get them uploaded on the website.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, there's going to be a lot of new wines coming and spirits.
Yeah, good. I'm really enjoying German wines at the moment. I'm just enjoying, obviously German Riesling, a really good dry German Riesling. But I've been tasting quite a few Spätburgunders recently. And I'm enjoying the move towards kind of modern, like this modern flavour profile from German wines. A lot of them are vegan, and it really seems like they're embracing kind of this new generation of drinkers, and it seems like an exciting region, which I don't think people would traditionally think Germany is an exciting region, but I'm definitely impressed with a lot of stuff that's coming out at the moment.
Yeah, I need to taste more. There is a big Riesling tasting coming up, I think, isn't there? We definitely did the online one that they did recently. But yeah, there was some really nice old vintages as well, but still maintaining that freshness. And yeah, that'll be really interesting to see what we don't have any German Riesling coming out this.
Okay, next time.
Yeah, I think I realized we didn't have as many reds, so we kind of focused a bit more on reds with autumn coming in and obviously winter and Christmas, so I'm buying everything for Christmas now. But yeah, definitely. If you have any suggestions for Rieslings that you guys or yourself would really, really like to see that you discovered and you haven't found that many people are doing it, not many people are championing it, yeah, let me know. Drop a comment or DM me afterwards.
Oh, definitely.
And yeah, because that's what I do. Then we're going live with a winemaker one winemaker next week, and then another winemaker the week after. So if there are really interesting wines that that you think that we should definitely discover them, then I will actually also get hold of the winemaker and get them on.
Amazing. One of the wine that I'm just looking at right now, I'm just going to grab it. Hang on.
Go.
Thank you. Well, it's quite cute. But this is a winemaker. His name's Stefan Lutz. And like how love the branding. And he said, I haven't tried them. I've tried some of them from last year, but he sent me a couple to try. But I'm just loving the move to freshness, and I like how he blends international varieties with the local German varieties. And just vibrant labelling and just trying to get a new wave of wine lovers on board, I think. So I think it's exciting.
Where in Germany are they from?
Rheinhessen.
And did you say there's a white, so Riesling and a Rosé, did you say?
They've got loads. I think he must be like a mad professor, like constant just churning out, being creative all the time and experimenting with different blends. Yeah, so I will hook you up.
Please, yeah, that sounds awesome. I'll just find out who their UK importer is and then do that. Awesome. Cool. I think we've been talking for 35 minutes.
I could carry on.
I know, we could talk all day about wines.
But
I'm really glad you got to try that wine, because obviously we were going to try it at the tasting, and then but I'm really glad that you managed.
Thank you.
We got you to try it.
Yeah. Oh my god, delighted to have tried it. Yeah, thank you for thinking of me for this bottle. I really like it. Might be one that I keep. I have a select few bottles that I keep on my windowsill and stick flowers
me
in.
too.
So I just think it's a really cool, so simple, but just a really cool design.
Yeah, it's definitely a conversation starter. You put that on you put that on a dining table or with your friends, and they go, what is this? Because the fact that it has so little on it makes you interested.
And the name, so Hurluberlu.
Yeah, I don't actually know what that is. And again, it's one of those things where they don't really have a website or an online big presence.
If anyone is French, maybe we need a French friend of ours to come on and tell us, because I've heard of Hurluberlu. Does that mean like when something's all a bit busy and chaotic, Hurluberlu? I think. I don't know. So maybe it's.
I'm not British, so I'm learning new words every day.
Yeah, I don't know. So if anyone knows, please comment.
Is that Derma joining us? Hi, Derma. We're just finishing.
You know what Hurluberlu means? Hurluberlu?
Yeah, anybody?
Maybe when you save it to IGTV, someone will help us in the comments.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. Well, it was so nice to chat to you, and hopefully we'll get you back on and do more fun things and maybe taste more wines.
Exactly.
Maybe pair it with food. I mean,
it's going to
be cheese season soon, so we can do some wine and cheese or something.
It's always cheese season.
I know.
Oh well, yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for asking me to come on.
Of course, and well, enjoy the wine. And I'll be enjoying the brewery. Guys, This is out today. £12.50 that one, £17 that one. I think they're great value for money.
Yeah.
And and hopefully speak to you soon.
Fab. Speak to you soon. Have a lovely weekend.
And you.
Bye.
Bye.